Hello everyone, this is Bryant with sfotsource.com, your premier guide to Six Flags Over Texas. We typically every year like to come out here in the summer on a weekday just to see how things are operating. Of course, there's lots going on at the park with their new record-breaking dive coaster, so we'll dive into, you see what I did there? We'll dive into some of that while we're here, show you all the things that have changed since we've been here last. If you follow our channel, then you would have seen that we recently were at Fiesta, Texas, and they had a lot of kind of interesting operational things going on, running one train, things like that. So we'll see how Six Flags Over Texas is faring in that department. All American Cafe has also reopened with a refreshed menu, new look on the inside. And we'll talk about a little bit more of what we've learned about the summer and things coming up here really soon. Now, if you follow us on social media, we did post a story. When we got here, the security line was like past the dive coaster construction. It's not a very full parking lot, so it was kind of crazy to see. I can report it cleared up really fast. I don't know what was going on, but it looks like everything is good to go now. So let's look around, see what's going on here at Six Flags Over Texas. Just across the way from the parking lot, we do have some pieces of the brand new dive coaster over here. They also have a little sticker there saying, "Follow me to Six Flags Over Texas, hashtag SFOT 2026, hashtag drop the gate." Still don't have concrete details or ride layout, but we've got more track and supports on site. And you'll notice here where the construction is happening for the brand new dive coaster, they are actively working today. It does look like they are working on the beginnings of putting footers in for the supports of the roller coaster. So I think if the weather holds out, it is very windy, we'll try to go to the top of Oil Derrick to get a better view of this, because it's going to be hard to see from down here. And here in the Silver Star Mall, we've got a lot of focus on the flowers this summer. The front area is looking really nice. You walk into the park and you've got a lot of the vibrance. They do have a photo person out here today, which is awesome. And of course you can meet the Looney Tunes up here. Looks like we got Bugs and Daffy out today. The hanging flower baskets are such a classic Six Flags Over Texas thing. I'm glad to see that no matter what changes are happening at the park, these seem to fight their way back every time. So last time we were here, La Cantina was closed, which is has the new menu with the tortas and such. We were here on the weekend last time. It's a Tuesday today. I'm hoping this is an attendance related thing and that they're not giving up on these because they were really good. But in other news, here at Tostitos Cantina, they still have the Mango Pop advertised that doesn't exist. And you, of course, have tons of construction going on here in Spain. They do have a track piece for the new roller coaster out, kind of like a little photo op. Now, the one thing that I really appreciate that they've done is a more permanent construction wall. It doesn't kill the vibe of the park when you don't have that chain link fence. You have an actual nice wall that looks like it's supposed to be here, and you know, if people aren't paying attention, they might not even realize that there's a lot of construction going on back there, but it's so much cleaner looking this way. And this is like an old Six Flags thing that seems to be coming back, which is awesome. And you know, I'm assuming at some point this summer they're going to release renderings and actual stats for the ride. Right now it's kind of a mystery other than what we've seen reported to the city and the FAA and things like that, but that is some beefy track, I tell you what. And even with all of the construction going on around, they've been able to keep first aid accessible And La Fiesta de las Tazas accessible. My goodness. Making our way into the Texas section, of course. Friday through Sunday, you can catch the gunfighters here at Courthouse Stage. Unfortunately, nothing during the week to watch here. Now, you swing across the way here to the Crazy Horse Saloon, and we did learn since our last visit that they are going to have a dueling piano show in here starting mid-July. So, something to look forward to, but still a little bit quiet on the entertainment front. Of course, with all of the crazy dive coaster construction going on, the only Flume 1 is open, so it is the original, so that's really cool to get to utilize this a little more during the summer with the construction. They still have the new boats sitting out in the parking lot, so you can see those are the classic Flume boats still in the trough operating now. And over here at Texas Giant, they are running 2 trains, which is the optimal operation on this ride, so that's great to see. But over here, big old boy Titan, not open right now. I haven't seen it operating at all today, so we'll see if it opens later on. But so one giant upside with Six Flags Railroad being closed is that this pathway that leads you down to Titan from that lower Texas section has been opened up, so that's really nice. Wow, they even covered up the crossing just so it's easier for people to go to and fro. That's kind of crazy. During our last visit, we actually talked about how there were some pretty big management changes happening at the Six Flags parks, including Six Flags Over Texas, with Jeffrey Siebert being the new regional general manager. This park actually now has a new vice president acting manager. Mark Boyer from Kings Island has a ton of theme park experience. It's always good to have a fresh start and have people who are very involved with the industry come in with their insight and knowledge. Also, this little outdoor AC setup they have here at Chop 6, it is working today and it feels so nice. We had planned to go up the oil derrick to check out some construction, but the wind beat us to it. Gosh dang it. Came down to take a look at Shockwave, their classic Schwarzkopf roller coaster here at the park. They are only running 1 train. I will say though, crowd is really light, so even with 1 train operating, it's not completely full, and there is no line in the station, so I don't think this is a big concern. The work has progressed on Texas Arena as far as a little refresh they're doing. It's now like a black color. They still have the Texas flag over here. They have closed up the little entry, and they have painted this weird blood splatter red thing that they had going on for Fright Fest. So very I don't know, blends in a little bit more, but it at least doesn't look like it's falling over, so progress. I don't know if this shows up on camera, but I'm definitely interested to see how this paint holds up, because they pretty much just painted over stuff that's chipping off. I think you can even see the Batman logo right there. That is wild. We've been getting asked about the status of Roaring Rapids. I guess it's had some downtime recently, but it is operating today. You can see the looks of happiness on the faces of the soaked. But I will point out they are only running 1 side, so if a lot of people decided to ride this, the line could get very hefty on a hot summer day like today. Easily one of the top 5 best themed rides in the park, Caddo Lake Barge. So much natural theming going on with this. And here at Superman Tower of Power, they're only running 1 tower. I don't know if that's because of the work they still have going on, or if that's just how things are rolling today, but you'll notice that even on a day like today where the park isn't very busy, you will start to build that lineup quite a bit. And you know, 1 tower, 12 people at a time, that's going to take a while for those people to get through the line. Here comes Runaway Mine Train through that tunnel finale. Mine train is running 2 trains, which is pretty standard. So no big lines over here. And then this little seating area that's just outside of Runaway Mine Train has the fans and the misters going full blast. Looks like a really nice place to sit in the summer. Before we head over into Gotham City, wanted to point out at the edge of Boomtown they did move those, you know, those like obnoxious like soliciting booths that they have. They moved that from out front of the cable tool rig, and looks like they also redid how the sign is mounted, so they want you to read it, see the theming. So I'm gonna say this is another win for the park vibes, that is for sure. There's some birds hanging out under the Batwing sign, soaking in that shade, but really I think they're just like, we want to be bats too. All right, here's our front-facing train on freeze going up the spike. Let's see if the next launch is a backwards-facing train, and that'll tell us how many trains they're running without taking the journey through the station. So definitely just running 1 train on freeze. FlashPass is showing no wait. So let me know in the comments below what your weekday experiences have been with run 1 train operations here on freeze. Batman is running 2 trains. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but they do have a train loading, and they had a train just go by. So 2 train ops over here. It's just freeze that's running a little less than optimal today. The water dummies that they use to test rides is getting a booty tan today. I hope you put some sunscreen on that booty. It's gonna be real uncomfortable if you didn't. Over here in the newer Gotham City section, aka the surface of the freaking sun, you've got Riddler, which is closed, and over here you've got Joker, which is closed. Oh gosh, there's a fence there. You've got Joker, which is closed, which looks unscheduled because the gift shop is open, so might just be, oh, it's saying high winds. Okay. That's fair, based off the history of that ride. But so Texas Skyscreamer is also closed, but I did want to point out they did put some new emblems, little star emblems on the tower, and one of them is the logo. Or I guess every other one is the logo. Those are really cool. And Texas Skyscreamer's neighbor, Judge Roy Scream, also closed with the sign saying due to high winds. So very rough go at it here in this corner of the park, that is for sure. I'm not gonna say it's like incredibly windy. It's not windy, but definitely interesting. Just throwing this out into the universe. Sure would be cool if this was turned into a live performance venue again and not haunted house storage. And of course, here in the USA section, you have All American Cafe, which has reopened after its big refurbishment, and they've put up the same kind of shade structures that they had over at, or that they do have over at Johnny Rockets. So same kind of vibe on the outside as that. Ditching the single umbrellas for the big shade structure. Here is a look at that refreshed interior of All American Cafe. You've got your quick serve line with a pizza, hamburgers, all of that. You've got your quick grab and go section here as well. And then your refill and your registers are down that way. I'll give you a quick look at that menu there. Nothing too crazy, not really breaking the mold, just more efficient, higher quality. Got the chicken tenders, a cheeseburger, pepperoni pizza, cheese pizza. You can get a crispy chicken salad. This is like your grab and go area. It's interesting to see that they wouldn't put the parfait on the dining plan like you would see at other parks, but it's kind of a thing here at this park. They're weird about the dining plan. You can also see the sides, seasonal vegetables, mac and cheese, and fries. And you can see your grab and go section here with the Oreo cookie parfaits, the fruit cups. You've got your chicken salad, They do serve beer, bottled water, some Simply drinks. It looks like they have like little side salads as well. And we opted to go for the double cheeseburger, which is actually looking way different. We did get the mac and cheese. I am a connoisseur of mac and cheese, so we'll see how it fares to the mac and cheese served over at JB's. All right, y'all, we got like an extreme weird angle shot going on here, but let's try this hamburger. So immediately much better quality than the burgers we've had. If you know me, you know we've had some hamburger struggles at this park. It's so much, I mean, it's like night and day from the hamburgers they were serving before. Really good, really fresh. The patties have like a nice flavor to them. The bun is good. Now, if I had to be a little bit critical, which, you know, I like to be a little bit critical sometimes, I really hope that they plan to introduce like condiments for the burger, like tomato, pickle, things like that. Even if it's just like, you know, like a little prepackaged thing. I understand if you don't want to have like a condiments bar, but that would really be like the ultimate thing that you could do to improve this. So the mac and cheese at JB's when we first stayed there was a little bit rough. This looked a little bit fresher, but it has quickly kind of like coagulated as it's sat here. So let's see what the taste is like. Yeah, so I mean, it's better than what we had at JB's initially, but I'd probably throw some salt on that. There's nothing like majorly wrong with it. It's not super runny or anything. It's just there's not like a big blast of flavor, whereas with the hamburger, you get a ton of flavor. Either way, having sides that aren't just French fries is kind of, you know, like a next level step up, and it's much appreciated. So I'm excited to see how the food keeps changing here. I know that unfortunately the first executive chef that they hired earlier this year has left the company, but I'm hoping that they get on a back on that again, because there was a lot of upside and a lot of positive to that, and this is a great refresh for All American, that is for sure. And over here at Aquaman Powerway, we've got 2 boat operations, which is good because it is hot. And as I look across the way, we are testing Texas Sky Screamer, so hopefully that means that it will be opening up soon. We're gonna bring a little bit of life to that corner over there. And here next to Aquaman Powerwave, the refresh station has opened. Man, this thing is looking nice and clean. So just another great way to get a drink refill. This is kind of a Cedar Fair standard, so you can expect to see these at all the parks, but a lot better than waiting in a food line, and this thing looks really good. Here's kind of a more like overview shot. This is a little bit of a pinch point in the crowd, so it gets a little busy over here, but they do have 2 sides, so when it's busier, they can open up the other side and get people's drinks in. You can also buy drinks here too, that's the other thing. Wanted to pop off over by Southern Palace real quick, just because they were doing some land clearing here last time. You can actually see all the way back to Roaring Rapids back there behind the bamboo now, but I think the primary goal here looks to be getting rid of this old haunted house that hasn't been used in forever. So, you know, just cleaning things up, and once this is cleaned up, you actually have like a nice open viewing area, which makes the park just not feel so closed off.
Plus, access to special events like breakfast, holiday in the park. Stop by the guest relations office.
As we loop back up towards the front of the park, you've got your My Six Flags photo here on the end of Six Flags Universe, but the center shop is now also a refresh station. So you've got your soft drinks and you've got your ices here. So this is great. I love seeing all these pop up. Of course, you have EG Sugar Waters that we showed during our last visit here. So this is really shaping up, this project. All right, we've made our full loop around the park, showing you the updates Honestly, really pleasant visit here today. I know that we're rough on them for not having more than just the bare minimum to do, which bare minimum to me is rides, but at least what they are offering right now is very efficient, good quality. Had was watching ride cycles, all was really quick. It was very efficient getting our food and our drink refills today as well too. I think we're gonna go back out to the parking lot, see if we can get a better look at what they've got going on for the new dive coaster before we leave. All right, we got another opening in the fence. Yeah, they are actively drilling for footers. This is awesome. Always fun to see these projects come to life. You can see where they've got some other areas marked as well. This thing's gonna come pretty far out into the parking lot. Here's another angle. Can't really see anything from here, but lots of excitement, lots of work going on. All right, everyone, that does it for this visit to Six Flags Over Texas. Nice weekday here in June. And I gotta say, the park, the things that are available, it's operating really well. And I'll repeat what we said. The crews are really efficient. We got our food quickly. We got our drink refills very quickly. Friendly team members. So that's always great to see. That doesn't really exclude the fact that there's not anything to do other than ride rides here, especially during the week. But even on the weekend, you're very thin on kind of the extracurriculars that really round out the theme park experience. So definitely looks like they're really turning a corner with park operations. It's like night and day from last summer. You know, that is a huge plus, and I'm really looking forward to the things coming. Of course, if you want to see more about the dive coaster, we do take pictures and post construction updates over at sfotsource.com. That is also our guide to the park. You can see information about the events coming up, ride wait times, ride closures, all that stuff. So make sure you check that out. And of course, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. We thank you all for watching. Take care, and we'll see you at a theme park.